Bonjour la classe, je suis toujours votre Madame Félicité de la langue française. Good morning class. I'm as usual your French teacher in this class. Today we are going to take our module 6. Aujourd'hui, on va prendre notre module 6 dans notre classe de français. So without much wasting of time, I want us to have a little bit of recap of what we did in the last class. We learned in the last class, the most important thing we learned in the last class was how to be able to use some polite ways of greeting. I mean, asking questions. You want to ask questions, for example, saying, what is your name? Tu t'appelles qui? Ou bien you say, comment tu t'appelles? That means, what are you called? Or what is your name? You are meeting someone for the first time. So the immediate question is that you ask and you have an immediate response. That means, je m'appelle. Je m'appelle. That means, I'm called. Then you now mention your name. I'm called Aisha. Je m'appelle Aisha. As you are responding his or her name by responding to moi, je m'appelle Memuna, or je m'appelle Josie. You can use, we learned two new words, mademoiselle, mademoiselle. You can, mademoiselle means miss, M-I-S-A, someone that is not married. Then you have monsieur, monsieur. Monsieur means Mr. Then we learn another one again, director general, that's director general. So if you are asking, for example, meeting someone for the first time, you can say, c'est qui, c'est qui. The response you begin with, c'est le directeur général, or you say, c'est mademoiselle Amina, or mademoiselle Rebecca, or you can say, c'est monsieur Ebel, or monsieur Salisu. So you can go on and on, but for the most important thing for us that we learned in the last class was how to ask, comment tu t'appelles, what is your name, or what are you called? And as I said, I'm repeating again, the response is, je m'appelle, you give your answer, je m'appelle, then your name. Then again, we went further to make mention of some polite ways of greeting someone, introducing yourself to someone, so as to get the immediate answer to what you are looking for. You are meeting someone for the first time. You can say in a very polite way to someone that has just come into your house, welcome. Welcome is bienvenue. Bienvenue. Then we looked at au revoir. Au revoir means goodbye. Again, we went further to say that when someone is traveling, normally you tell the person, safe journey. Safe journey. That means bon voyage. Bon voyage. You have closed at the end of the work. Going home, you can say, à la prochaine, à la semaine prochaine. That means see you next week. See you next week. And if you are just at work or even in class or in school, you want to step a little bit to go somewhere or to have something doing, you say to the person next to you or your classmates, à bientôt, à tout à l'heure. À tout à l'heure. That means see you later. See you later. Now let's quickly go to the next thing, the topic of today for this class. In this class, we are going to learn how to mention the months of the year, the months in a year that we have, as you can see on the board. Les mois de l'année. Les mois de l'année means months in a year. In English, we have January, we have February, we have March, we have April, we have May, we have June, we have July, we have August, We have September, we have October, we have November, we have December. So let's quickly take them one after the other because the pronunciation are a little bit complicated. So you have on the French, it is being pronounced as janvier. It is being pronounced as janvier. Janvier. January means janvier. Then let's go down to February. February. February is février. 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 March. March, that's in English. In French, we call it Mars. 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 Then we have April. April in English. What does it mean in French? Avril. Avril. Again, Avril. Let's go up and see how we pronounce May, the month that we are in right now, that started just yesterday. May, as you can see, sounds the same as it is being pronounced in English, except that the spelling differ with just I at the end. In English, we have Y at the end, May, but in French, it is May. The same pronunciation, but the spelling differs with the I and the Y. May, May. So that is very simple. Then we have learn how to have the sounds of the alphabets. Actually, we should have started with that, but double S as if we are pronouncing Y, letter Y. Juillet. Juillet. Let me take it again. July. July, that's in English. In French is juillet. Juillet. Let's go down to August. August. You can see August is a little bit complicated, even looking at the spelling. August in French is août. Août. A-O-U with the accent at the top of the U, then T. Août, that means August. Août again means August in English. Then let's go to the rest. We have September. September, that's in English. September. Just look at the spellings very well. In French, you pronounce it as septembre. Septembre. It's like the P is silenced a little bit. So you go to pronounce it as septembre. Septembre. Je répète. Septembre. That means September. Should I take it again? Septembre. Septembre. Of course, with the sound of September, all others follow in that direction. October. October. That's in French we say Octobre. Octobre. Please, Novembre. Novembre. Je répète. December. December. Sorry, there's a little mistake there. The E at the end of it in French is missing. It's décembre. Just use your pen to write, to add the E at the end. December is being pronounced as décembre. Décembre. So let's quickly go back to the months again. We began by saying that January is pronounced as janvier. Janvier, that means January. Janvier. Then we have February. Février. March. March is pronounced as Mars. Mars. Then we have April. April. April is pronounced as Avril. Avril. So the tactic here is that you pronounce the two letter L as if you are pronouncing just one letter Y. Then you get your sound of juillet, juillet. Then we have August, August. That's in English. In French, August is pronounced as août, août. Then let's quickly move to the remaining last part of the month. We have September. September is Septembre. We have October. October is Octobre. We have November. November is pronounced as Novembre. Then the last one is December. December. December is pronounced as Decembre. Decembre. So that's all we have for the months in a year. I hope we have learned that. You can always repeat, play back so as to learn. You know, as I always encourage us, that learning is a gradual process. You don't need to be fast in learning. So I have an instruction I want to give us again, just as we did in the last class. Of a year, as usual, drop your question on our YouTube so that we attend to them to make learning easier.
Good morning and welcome to Politics and Business Television, where this is where politics and business meets and the real issues take center stage. Today we are looking at two stories that define the state of the nation: APC plot to manipulate election and immigration fraud linking religious body. As we fast approach the 2027 general elections, political parties are planning, putting finishing touches to ensure they secure a place in the seat of power. Today, we are examining the statements credited to Alhaji Buba Galadima, a renowned diplomat who has, in recent times or over the years, provided quality opposition to the ruling party. According to his speech, he highlighted the possible antics of the APC to manipulate the 2027 elections via the use of various apparatus of power. The concern now will be who is afraid of a credible election. Is it possible to run a one-party state in Nigeria? Let's hear your thoughts as we progress. At the same time, away from politics, we're going to highlight a very controversial issue that borders on immigration fraud linked to a religious body. In time past, so many stories has emerged concerning financial fraud linking to religious bodies. This act has generated widespread criticism over the integrity of churches meddling into unexplained transactions. What will be the hope of her followers? All right, this morning, we connect the dots between leadership and accountability and delivery, because in the end, governance is not just about winning elections, but it's all about making life better. Stay with us. We shall be back. And as when we come back, we dive straight into the newspaper review. My name is Chidi Kenneth. This is PMB Morning Show here in the city of Abuja. As usual, I'm not alone. I'm with my co-hosts and brother and uncle, Mr. Ibrahim Shaibu. Good morning, sir.
Morning, Mr. CK. How are you doing?
A very good Tuesday morning. I see you are looking very whitish, exactly, as usual.
And you're looking very darkish, as usual. Well, CK Brown. Good morning, viewers.
Will I take that as a compliment?
Of course it is. Of course it is. You know, you're all becoming like Koreans and Japanese these days. Nigerians look dark dresses. I can't even explain why. Because traditionally, it is the Koreans and the Japanese. They like to wear black jackets and coats. And it's now becoming a Nigerian thing as well, especially among the youth.
You may be right. You may be right. So, Mr. Ibrahim, today is another Tuesday, and
Exactly.
you know, as usual, you don't like seeing there's a particular caption or headline. You don't like to see.
Of course, and you can see it is reducing honestly for the last.
God is answering your prayers.
Exactly, yes, because it's sad. It's very sad, honestly. It's
I can imagine.
seeing death all over the place in one's beloved country.
I can
Every
imagine.
day in tens, in hundreds, and I'm happy these few days we have not been seeing much of that. Praise be to Allah. Glory
Yes,
to God.
praise be to Allah, praise be to God. And now what we are seeing is party strategies, party antics, party attempt to manipulate attempted manipulations
Exactly.
to win the 2027 elections,
Decamping,
defections,
permutations,
all manner of things. Even registration.
Exactly, even registration of parties again. Registration of membership. Exactly.
As at yesterday, the NDC has recorded over 9 million.
Wow.
Shockingly.
That's shocking.
I'm telling you the truth.
You know the reason why now? Because everybody is following these two giants anywhere they go.
No, you said it. Poverty.
Exactly.
It's not even them.
Yeah, of course.
Nigerians allegedly are looking for any other option.
Exactly. Definitely.
Mr. Ibrahim, if you come out today and you are credible enough, Nigerians will follow you.
One of our elder statesmen and political giant just stated that even if you put Mr. XXX on the ballot against Mr. XXX, that Mr. XXX will win. So
Nigerians need change.
It's
Nigerians
desperation. And then there's desperation among the political class as well. Everybody wants to be president.
Yes.
And this is also worrisome, actually.
Well, it
Everybody
is.
wants to be president.
But we see 2027, one thing is sure, one person will win.
Exactly, like always.
The whole drama will end by January next year.
By God's grace.
All right, we'll go on a short break. When we return, we'll dive straight into the newspaper review. This is P&B Morning Show here in the city of Abuja. Stay tuned. We'll be back after this time out. Welcome back. This is P&B Morning Show here in the city of Abuja. My name is Chidi Kenneth, and as usual, I still have my colleague, co-host, Mr. Ibrahim Shaibu, in the studio. Okay. Like I said earlier, we have a lot of topics, but the first topic, like I said, is an alleged attempt, for the records, is an alleged attempt by the ruling party to manipulate the 2027 elections, as credited to the statement made by Bubal Galadima, which we recently that made a very strong statement without mixing words, trying to analyze the possible antics of alleged antics of the ruling party, the games they are playing, the card they are playing to ensure that they pave their way into power 2027. But let's see how it goes. Like, one thing is so sure, politics is all about game of number, and
Exactly.
It's all about calculations and permutations. So, in case you are joining us, that is one of the major topics we're going to discuss today, Mr. Ibrahim.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I need to set the record straight so that when you are joining us, you understand the import of the statement and the content of what we are going to talk about this morning. Now to the newspaper review, and let's see what newspaper do we have today. The first newspaper, please. The Vanguard.
Registration. Dixon kicks as Ardo vows court action, false INEC on NDC. Registration. That is membership registration to NDC. Dixon kicks as Ardo vows court action, false INEC on NDC. Ardo is one of the founding fathers of the NDC. He is now beginning to create another problem even within the NDC. Yes, because there are a lot of he's trying to show that there are legal consequences for some of the issues within the party now. So what we see happened in NDC, like I told you in one of our discussions, you will see all these problems and challenges coming into one party after the other in an attempt to weaken all opposition political parties.
And to narrow the election down to one party system.
That is it. And we know where this is leading. The attempt is
becoming
weaken political parties.
This whole thing is becoming childish.
Exactly.
It's becoming childish. Whoever is behind all these things, you know that this is becoming childish.
That is
we need to start saying the truth the way it is, without fear and favor. This is childish.
So there are some
who is afraid of credible election in this country?
Exactly. I wonder.
If you are popular and you are sellable, let everybody go and contest.
So that is just the problem. There are allegations, strong allegations among Nigerians that it is the ruling party that's manipulating all these things.
Of course, but some of the opinion, a lot of Nigerians are saying
exactly. They sponsor people, they put malls across political parties. You understand?
How about now from ADC?
And they keep under detention.
Let me speak in English here. You pursue ADC, then pursue ADC, pursue ADC. You know,
and now they want to those ADC kings and queens now move into NDC. If they move to PRP, you follow them. If they move to ABC, you follow them. If they move to KGB, CIA, you follow them.
Even by their party.
Even by the so this is very, very honestly speaking. Whoever is doing this, because
whoever is doing this should just stop it.
There are allegations. But we don't know. You always
because this is just stop it and
unseen hand.
Let's behave ourselves.
Unseen hand.
Yes, the international community is watching us, and this is laughable. This is not commendable. This is embarrassing. It is what executive or whatever imbecility that you can name it. This is political imbecility. I mean, for crying out loud, what's going on?
So NDC claims 10 million members enroll in 48 hours. Hold state congresses.
I just told you about 9 points. So exactly. 10 million.
Getting to 10 million now.
10 million, yes.
So ADC, Atiku's camp denied defection talks with NDC. So on top we see.
Who knows? Atiku might also move to NDC. Now we are hearing deniers.
I read this in several social media platforms, but you know, most time we don't rely on social media information. You know how things are now. But I read quite a lot of write-ups regarding that. That is why he came out. He's here denying any. You
know, sometimes when things are being denied in this country, after a while, because they turn out to be true.
Just like the Hausa would say, "Umbarami, meka batarami."
So Umbaram meka batarami.
Yeah, that is so. So Akume brokers peace in Benue, APC ends months of crisis. Akume is the former SSG. Or is he still the SSG?
Yes, Akume is still the SSG.
Brokers peace.
Former governor of Benue State.
Exactly. Yes. Ends months of crisis. 16 killed in attack on Katsina Plateau communities. 16 killed.
This is one topic that you're avoiding.
Exactly. But in Nigeria, we'll even give thanks to God. Because we're just seeing 16 in two states. Before now, we are seeing 200, 160, 300, 400.
In a state?
In a state.
416.
So, yes, if government is responsible for telling this thing, we'll now give credit to them. But if it is natural, then we thank God also.
Okay.
Yes.
Zoom it a bit. Let's see what they've right down the Vanguard up there.
There's an interesting video there. Coup plotters. Oh.
Okay.
Plotters admit to planning coup against Tinubu in court. On video. Plotters admit to planning coup against Tinubu in court. 2027. PDP crisis deepens as rival bloc claim control. PDP crisis deepens as rival blocs claim control. So you see crisis all over the parties. No party is now sent. I think the only three parties I can remember that are also relatively okay are the SDP and one other
PRP.
Even PRP, there are indications that they will be having crisis also in PRP. Baba Ahmed has spoken a few days ago, you remember? So any party that any member, particularly stronger members of the opposition group, show any sign of moving there, will definitely end up in having crisis. Either leadership or legal crisis regarding its registration.
Okay.
Can we go lower?
The one of NDC is still a threat. I don't think that has been established. From the Hekka is still a threat.
Yeah, of course.
And
let's go up, please.
Go up. Vows court action. Okay, it's still a threat.
It's still a threat.
Okay.
Xenophobia.
Federal government demands
into gang of Nigerians in South
killing
Africa.
of Nigerians in South Africa. Enough is enough.
Honestly.
I don't know why South Africans are. What did we do to them?
I don't know.
Why are they killing Nigerians?
What we did to them is help. We helped them in their times of need, in their time of apartheid regime. When they were suffering, Nigeria was the #1 country that stood by them strongly.
Is that how they're going to pay us back?
Help, psychologically, we've made our presence felt in South Africa, in all manner of the world.
So is that how they're going to pay us back?
Now they are repaying us negatively. Most of their presidents have praised Nigerian commitment to their freedom.
Fight against apartheid.
But now they end up killing us and hating us all over the place. You can see how we Africans sometimes behave.
That's the height of ungratefulness.
And then this South Africa's case is even the worst globally. In all of Africa, these are the most unfriendly people. I'm telling you.
And they are doing good business in Nigeria.
Of course, MTN, ShopRite, a lot of their major companies. And nobody is going there to destroy their companies or even to harass their citizens that are living in Nigeria. There are a lot of them too. It's very sad. They are very uncivilized people.
All right,
Honestly
next
speaking,
newspaper,
very, very
please.
uncivilized people.
The Guardian. Bring it up a bit.
APC consensus fuels tension. Political realignment nationwide. APC consensus fuels tension. Political realignments nationwide. And those realignment involve defection, changing loyalties, you understand? And
we are going to see what we call party after party. There's a song they sang. There's one musician that sang a song, party after party.
Exactly.
Party after party. We're likely going to see party after party. You know, the party is a party, it's political party. Everywhere is going to be hot. Well, APC consensus, you see, it's getting interesting here because even if APC is not left in the fight, in the problems.
Oh, of course, yes.
You know, if there is an allegation of the ruling party fueling crisis in other parties, they are also having their own internal fair share of the internal wrangling too.
Yes, why this is happening? Because they are hell bent on destroying other smaller parties, and sometimes when you do that, you will be also indirectly affecting yourself. Exactly, it will boomerang naturally. So, by the time you start doing certain things, some people will now begin to have friends all across some other political parties. Especially this consensus issue is the deepest, is the thing that is eating into the APC. Well, because some may definitely lose their tickets. Some are first timers. Many of them are first timers. They are there in the Senate National Assembly for the very first time, and they are looking forward to having a second time. I mean, you know, the seat in Senate and House of Reps is indefinite. You can contest for as long as you wish. You understand? And so people are just there for the first time. I am not trying to give them the impression that they may not come. They are coming there depends on the good blessings of their state governors, which was not like that before.
Exactly.
So they will not look for any alternative platform on which to contest. Any party that is ready to give them tickets. And when they move there also, the same applies in the new political parties they join. Because some of these parties, smaller parties they join will now say, no, we already have our people that are already aspiring to this seat, and then you are now coming from your ruling party.
And more so that governors were given more or less sole power to
determine who runs.
Yeah,
that is
and we have seen governors anointing their candidates like the Borno states, like one of Nasarawa. Even in Lagos, we have I became
politically aware from 1979, and believe you me, I've never seen an exciting political moment like I'm witnessing today. Crisis-prone pre-election time period,
full of drama, full
of what do you call it? Uncertainties, full of when you don't trust people. What do you call it? Distrust. Honestly speaking. All these political people do not all of them here.
Political brouhaha.
They do not trust them.
You know what? Some professors will use the word political brouhaha.
Of trust among politicians, but this time around there is no any iota of trust, even within the politicians themselves.
You know why? There's
no truth in the whole of the situation.
Apart from that, is the hunger in the land.
Yes,
you said it last few weeks.
The Al-Hakim Talakawa that is destroying them now. I'm telling you. Yes, it is the prayer. I think one of them candidates here said the prayer of the poor. God doesn't listen to the prayer of the poor. I think it's about time now that particular person understand that God hears about the prayers of the poor.
Of course,
yes. There's one of those candidates among the president's candidates who once uttered that statement.
That God does not listen to the prayer of the poor.
He laughed. He said, Allah adu an talaka. That God does not listen to the prayer. He's now saying it.
We are going to see.
For me personally, I think that's why it will be very hard for him to realize his political ambition of becoming president. That simple statement. Yes. I've said it before now because I always, anytime he comes out to contest, I say, I will remember that statement he uttered. Every time he comes out to contest, and he says he comes out to contest regularly. Every election year will come out to contest, and he will not get the ticket. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I think now what is happening to all these politicians, there's no unity among them. There's a high level of distrust among them. It's also as a result of the prayers of the poor people. Because whoever comes to attain leadership position in this country doesn't do well for the citizen.
Okay. Take it up a bit. Let's see the rider up there. We think we have the chief of defense staff there saying that 2 suspects admit
knowledge of plot to overthrow Tinubu. 2 suspects admit knowledge of plot to overthrow Tinubu.
You can bring it up a bit. Up. Yes. Okay.
Obedient movement faithful flood NDC within hours of Obi's move. Obedient movement faithful flood NDC within hours of Obi's move.
But including the Kwankwasias.
But here they are
well, probably the person is a pro. Maybe the person is a pro. You know, some of these media outfits have the way of from their body language.
That always advise us to avoid bigotry when we are analyzing papers.
Yes,
so just leave it at what they need, what the headlines.
Well.
I'm just reminding you, Sha.
Well, I'm not well. Yes, but however, you must also give it to Kwankwaso too.
Of course, but here this particular rider is just mentioned.
It's not more. I think at this juncture is.
Can we go down the paper a little?
It's okay movement. They've changed it from Obi to okay now because it's Obi Kwankwaso. And everybody is well. Let's see how it goes.
You see, even when they joined the ADC, they did not come together. They came separately. They came separately. So even as they move into the NDC now, they are moving separately, not together. So this particular caption is now informing Nigerians that the Obile movement have already arrived.
Okay, the aircraft.
So we are now waiting. Exactly. Now we are waiting to see when the Konkosia movement, because those two are both movements. When the Konkosia movement will now move in.
There are no more political parties.
They are, of course, but
no, they are not as an individual. They are all movements as an individual.
Yes. Yes, as an individual, they are movement. Do you understand? A movement defines a very strong, bold, goal-oriented person who has a large following and with an ideology and a court being followed by millions of people. That is it. So, NASU SANU protest short UI gets disrupt activities at ABU and Unilorin.
NASU and the SAN
and SANU, I think NASU is a National Association of
Non-Academic Staff
Union of Universities and
Senior Staff Association
of Nigerian Universities.
Yes.
Protest. Short UI Gate University of Ibadan Gate disrupt activities at ABU and University of Ilorin.
Yes.
Interesting times.
Interesting times.
Even the academia is not left alone.
At all.
Because nothing is working. Well, honestly speaking,
it seems so allegedly.
Yes, the government is busy sharing billions to politicians while the academians are left to cater for themselves. Even the doctors are not being taken proper care of.
We have another one. We have the NNPC seals fresh deal to revamp Port Harcourt Warri refineries after $2.4 billion term. We'll be hearing this issue of reform.
Don't go and share those money and tell us that things did not work out, because this is exactly what you have been doing. For years, your monies have been siphoned in the names of repairing Port Harcourt refinery, Kaduna refinery, Warri refinery, but it has not been repaired. Don't lie to us. In fact, just supply Dangote with crude oil and let other private investors invest in building refineries in Nigeria. We do not trust any government refineries in Nigeria any longer anymore.
Because at some point we are hearing that then Port Harcourt refinery will resume.
It's a lie. It's a lie. It's a lie. If the government is serious, government should not encourage this spending. 2.4 billion for what? It's a lie.
At the end of this, me and you.
Nobody will see this money, and then no refinery will come up. It's a lie.
Okay, I can see. Take it easy. I can see that you are.
No, because they always consider Nigerians as stupid and foolish. They always make assume we don't know anything.
Poor diagnosis, soaring inhaler costs.
Poor diagnosis, soaring inhaler costs.
Pollution trigger deadly asthma surge. Okay, asthma is everywhere now, and the poor diagnosis.
And inhaler is becoming very, 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 very costly now.
Very, very.
What you see? Inhaler, BP drugs, simple antibiotics. These drugs, this is a threat to life in Nigeria.
We have ground handlers issue final 72 hours notice to airlines over 9 billion naira debt. Okay. PDP disowns 103rd NEC meeting. Okay, 103rd.
They have been having meeting for 103 times.
Declares Mwabara Turaki claims void. Okay. Mwabara Turaki claims void. Okay. Is still politics going on in PDP?
Nigerian Tribune 2027 consensus suffers setback in APC as aspirants their governors. Consensus suffers setback in APC as aspirants their government.
So you can see that governors, not governors.
Governors.
So you can see the battle line has been drawn between aspirants and governors.
Of course, they have to give it a fight.
So consensus seems not to be working smoothly.
I tell you in one of our discussion that it's not all said that can fall victims to this nonsense. Honestly, Senate leader defends Electoral Act, says consensus not sacrosanct. Senate leader defends Electoral Act, says consensus not sacrosanct.
Party extends deadline for sale of forms submission.
That is because of the crisis, ongoing crisis within the APC.
Do you see APC managing their crisis?
Oh, of course.
Because it's going to be huge. You know what
if they do not, whatever they are working towards, they may not actually realize it. Particularly their attempt in fact, that is why they put so much money and effort into making sure that no any opposition party suffer
their own fair share of internal issues.
My guy, we have reached a situation whereby
that is scenario we are likely to see.
Exactly.
Okay,
more likely.
More likely. Okay. Okay. Chinese firms to operate Warri Port Harcourt refineries, NNPC. Chinese firms
to operate Warri Port Harcourt refineries.
Why will Chinese come and operate our refineries?
Because maybe you don't have good hands to.
No, is it a way? Is it a way of trade by? Where a lot of borrowings have been going on allegedly on the ground, and probably
of course.
We indirectly receding our refineries to Chinese people, because we have in some countries where Chinese took over the airport to recover their loan.
Yeah, I think one of those African countries,
Zimbabwe or whatever,
yes,
or Namibia or whatever.
Yes, they have taken over so many things from other countries.
Now we're hearing that Chinese firms to operate Warri refineries. Well, we don't know. Is it that license was given to them, or if there's an MOU that was reached out?
These are information that will hardly come out to the fore. They should have mentioned for what reason. The reason is not mentioned here. It just states that Chinese firms to operate Warri Port Harcourt refineries, says NNPC, and probably that is why those monies, about $2.9 billion, is about to be sunk into it.
Well, we hope so. But
Nigeria's crude oil output rose to 1.56 million barrels per day in March. Nigeria's crude oil output rose to 1.56 million barrels per day in March.
Well, some Nigerians will say whatever it is, whether it is war, whether it's Chinese, whether it's Franks, whatever. What matters, let the refineries work, have you?
Why don't you refine the refineries and leave it in the hands of Nigerians? Let Nigerians run their companies by Nigerians.
And that will
exactly.
Employment.
And if you want to sell it, just sell it and let us know that you sell it. Privatize it. Even if you are the one to buy it, and then it's better than always telling Nigerians that you are removing so amount of dollars, billions, billions, so XYZ.
And now we are hearing Chinese firms to
and
operate.
now finally you are being told that Chinese firms are going to operate our refineries. For what?
Okay. We have federal government demands probe autopsy of Nigerians killed in South Africa.
It's about time.
It's about time, because this xenophobia is becoming way outrageous, and we need to call South Africa to order, please, because it's not a good thing to see at all. Government kill 5 in Plateau community. That is another rider there.
That situation is. But still, we'll say, praise be Allah, glory be to God, because before that we have been seeing them in hundreds. Almost every day.
Well, I take it up still on the Tribune. We have, government yet to free kidnapped IBEDC staffers 6 days after. Government yet to, release them. We still have 2 defendants admits knowledge of plots to overthrow Tinubu in video evidence. Turaki, Arakpaja, others make up interim NWC members of Makinde's backed PDP. Makinde is busy building his own structure. We have Turaki, we have Arakpaja, and we have others make up interim National Working Committee members of Makinde's backed PDP. But your governor says joy is coming.
Then who are the NWC for Wike backed PDP? This is Makinde back.
What about I will forever remember Wike for a particular song he likes to sing.
So we want to see the National Working Committee
that song
as
pierced into my bone.
The time we have towards the 2027 election, you begin to wonder, how will that election going to hold? Honestly speaking, you can easily paint the scenario.
Like you said, this electionary period is the most dramatic in the history of the return of democracy.
And no party is free of any internal crisis. Some are even legal crises going on within the party.
Why some are internal crises?
Yes, all of them are of course internal. All of them are internal. But even the internal, there are several levels of internal crisis within the party.
There's a right there.
Still going having court cases, pending court cases over them.
Well, Makinde is busy building his own structure. While we are yet to see the one of
your governor says joy is coming.
Tells INEC to redeem own image.
It is an illegitimate assembly. Wike backed PDP says. So you can
Wike has replied.
You can yes. The Wike faction will now contradict it. So do you go to the next one, please?
We have on health issues here. We have scientists develop chewing gum to help fight oral cancer.
Maybe go this side, yes.
Chewing gum to help fight oral cancer. That's a good one. That's a good one there. Okay, next newspaper, please. Daily Trust.
Refineries. After 3.2 trillion naira, Chinese firms stepped in. After 3.2 trillion naira, Chinese firms stepped in. What's about that 3.2 trillion naira?
Well, probably monies has been spent so far to revamp the refinery. Probably,
yeah,
then
it grabbed about $2.39 billion, which is equivalent to 3.2 trillion naira in rehabilitation. Well, if the Chinese are coming to rehabilitate and make it functional for us and then leave, that is a different matter entirely. But for them to manage our refineries, honestly, is very, very, very wrong step to have taken.
We have a question here. NDC, the new third force. Well, that's a question to be answered come 2027.
Obviously, yes. APC, ADC, and NDC. Because now PDP is no longer any force to be threatened. That's what this implies.
PDP is having Makinde's backed and Wike led.
Even the ADC has now you backed and Mark
led.
So it's all
they are backing you.
Very soon you'll begin to see the same in NDC because that arrow has started talking.
Is that they are backing you or they are leading you?
It's either they are backing you or they are leading you.
Politically. One is back,
is pushing you,
and one is leading you.
Rising food prices strain FCT residents' income. That is very true. If you are living in Abuja, you know what that means. Rising food prices strain Federal Capital Territory residents' income.
I'm one person that can talk about this.
Food and transport consumes almost 80% of average worker in Federal Capital Territory. And that is
undoubtedly
very bad governance. Very, very bad policy.
These are the issues that will contest this election.
Of course. It's this one that will send you packing. I'm telling you, whoever you are there, and that's just the truth. It's not that people don't like this administration. It's not like people have anything against the APC. It's stuff like this, honestly speaking.
So it is ruling party versus poverty.
Of course, yes. That is why, see, it is this, and you see, politicians are very smart people. Do you understand? The ruling party is not afraid of Wike. It's not afraid of Obi. It's not afraid of Konkoso. It's not even afraid of Atiku. Do you understand? It's afraid of whatever platform these people are going to fly. Because they know the war is no longer between Atiku, Obi, Konkoso.
It's not about any Muniju anymore.
Exactly.
It's about the situation of the country.
It's about the situation in the country. So that is why they are denying anybody from the opposition any platform on which to run. Do you get the idea? Yeah. It's just denial of a platform for any Nigerian to run.
Flight disruption looms as ground handlers withdraw services Wednesday. Okay, I think it's high time they withdraw these flight services. Let's everybody ply the road. Because some people are not even plying these roads. That's why they are not, most of the roads are not good. Exactly. I went to Lagos 6th of December last year by road.
You told me about your experience.
23 hours.
You told me how difficult it was.
No. The same road that I used to fly 9 hours maximum to 23.
Xenophobia. Nigerian seeking repatriation will bear cost. Federal government. See. No, why would they have to bear cost? See how our country doesn't even give a damn about their citizens.
And somebody is budgeting 105 billion naira.
Their lives are in danger in other countries, and for you to say that they have to pay to bear expenses for their repatriation cost, why?
And then somebody is budgeting 135.5 billion for post-election
crisis and legal tussles. You understand? How many of them that you cannot bring back home? See, honestly, these kind of things.
Let's use paper, please. The Punch.
Governors starting grip on Senate ticket, displace incumbents. Governors starting grip on Senate tickets, displace incumbent. You see, that is why the consensus...
The title is the APC consensus coup.
Exactly.
So it's not just...
we pray this continues so that the party will also suffer what it is dishing out to other opposition parties. Okay.
We can see that coup d'etat is not like into military alone. We have political coup d'etat.
Exactly.
Okay. And xenophobia, federal government seeks justice for slain Nigerians.
If you are seeking justice for slain Nigerians, what will you say they must bear the cost of their repatriation back? Why?
It sounds controversial.
It sounds controversial. You are lying to them.
Okay, cool. Defendant admits knowledge of plot in video evidence. Defendants admits knowledge of plots in videos evidence. Okay, we are now beginning to see the long-awaited, suspects of the alleged coup plot against the president coming out to speak out. I think we have it here that two of them
have confessed,
to
being aware.
Okay, let's see how that goes and let's see how that ends. We hope that we see to the end of this whole issue and then justice will be served accordingly. Federal government loans
11.8 billion naira to 6,842 tertiary institution workers. Federal government loans 11.8 billion naira to 6,842 tertiary institution workers.
Well, if you're a worker of any of the university and you're a beneficiary to this, it's congratulations to you. Congratulations to you. Okay, we have let's wrap up because we don't have much time. Governors tightens grip on Senate. Okay, we read that NNPC signs deal to revamp Warri Port Harcourt refineries. All right, take it out. Let's see the next. Okay, and then Wiki PDP bloc rejects Makinde's interim national working committee. Primaries scheduled. And we have states shun autonomy ruling. Retain 1.46. Okay. All right, let's just flip it out. I think we don't have much time. So we can then. The last paper for today, we have
Centurion. Awoni marks 100 forest appearance with brace.
Yes.
Awoni marks 100th forest appearance with brace.
That means he scored 2 goals in his 100th appearance with Nottingham Forest.
Okay, Nottingham Forest.
And just Forest appearance. I think that should be the club, Nottingham Forest. Okay. Chelsea 1, Forest 3. That was where when he scored the brace. The brace means 2 goals.
2 goals.
And then we have, of course, Interplot, 8 million euro. Akinson will buy back. All right, and just something very intriguing happened in sports. We saw that Arsenal, Man City, drew with Everton yesterday, 3-3, and that was a plus for Arsenal.
Everton and
yes,
Arsenal.
I personally watched that match. At some point, I was happy for Arsenal. I'm not an Arsenal fan, but I was happy because Arsenal has gone through a lot over the years, ending second, and I've been praying for them to just clinch this trophy at least for a long time.
I can see the caption there. Everton 3, Man City 3.
Yes.
City
and Arsenal advantage
in the chase.
In title chase.
Arsenal advantage in the chase.
Yes, in title chase. So that is it. Okay. You can see that sports is becoming interesting, like I said before, and
for me, what's making it more interesting, even at my age, is the fact that there are so many Nigerians making waves globally in football, generally in sport. That's quite amazing.
You played football in your days.
Yeah, I did.
I still play anyway, but just
in school.
Not professionally anyway.
Of course, not professionally.
Just to burn the calories.
Played to a heart's content that in those days.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Brian Shaibu, for doing justice to today's newspaper review.
Thank you, Mr. CK.
It's nice having you. Okay, we're going to wrap it up here on the newspaper review this morning. We're going on a short break, and when we return, we dive straight into the topic of today. Stay tuned. This is Politics and Business Television here in the city of Abuja. Welcome back. This is P&B Money Show here in the city of Abuja. My name is Chidi Kenneth, and I still have with me Mr. Ibrahim Shaibu. Mr. Ibrahim, once again, welcome.
Thank you, CK.
All right, we're going to dive straight into the topic for today. As we first approach the 2027 general elections, political parties are putting finishing touches to ensure they secure a place in the seat of power. Today, we are examining the statements credited to Alhaji Buba Galadima, a renowned diplomat who has, over the years, provided quality opposition to the ruling party. According to his speech, he highlighted the possible antics of the APC to manipulate the 2027 elections via the use of various, apparatus of power. Now, the concern now will be, who is afraid of credible election? Is it possible to run a one-party state or a one-party affair in Nigeria? All right, let's hear your thoughts as we progress in this discussion today. Mr. Ibrahim Shaibu, alleged attempt by or plots by the APC to possibly, manipulate the 2027 elections. What's your take on that?
Yeah, well, these statements allegedly to have emanated from a very senior citizen person I know personally. I call him uncle. We came from the same place. And I know his character. I know his staunchness. I used to call him Uncle Buba back then in Maiduguri. I know him personally.
Is he from Borno State?
Of course, he's from Yobe State, but he did, in those days, Borno and Yobe are one state. They are collectively referred to as Borno State.
Yes.
It was IBB or Abacha that created Yobe out of Borno. So I grew up there, and then he used to come to our house. So I know him very much. I know his qualities, I know his character, and I know his strength and I know his willpower and strength. And I know his political experience over time. For such statements to have come from him must carry a certain element of truth. And then some of those truths that are sounded are very, very obvious to Nigerians, although some may not, but by virtue of his position as a staunch politician for years, what he knew may not be known to other Nigerians.
So are you saying that a man of his caliber understands certain things that we don't know?
Of course, yes. Of
and
course,
that
yes. There are certain political secret that is not everybody that knows. Do you understand?
Okay.
Yeah, there are hidden thoughts among politicians, hidden ideas that not all Nigerians know. But for him to begin to unravel some of these things that are assumed to be secret is something to be taken seriously. And then we are all clearly seeing certain activities going on.
Signs and signals.
Signs and signals going on. Then body movements of some politicians, body movement of the ruling party that should point to the fact that what Buba has said might have been true as well.
As the case will be in the new NDC, the new bride.
Exactly.
Where we have not even started less than 72 hours, we're already hearing alleged.
Exactly.
By, is it Ando?
Ardo.
Ardo
is one of the key members of the NDC. He is one of the, the founding fathers of the NDC, as already beginning to sound whistle. And this is one of the claims being advanced by Buba Galadima, that there had been attempt to weaken all political parties.
Streamline the whole process into a one-party state.
Towards with the aim objective of having no candidate to contest along with the ruling party candidate, or even to disallow them having any platform on which to contest. Like I always tell you, the war now is not between any political party or any individual contestant against the federal ruling party, but it is against Nigerians and the ruling party. Not because they dislike the government, but because they hate the policies of the government that has brought them into what they are suffering today. All right. So the only way the ruling party can have breathing place is for them to deny anybody any platform on which to run. Because like Buba said, he ended that statement with a statement that I want to repeat. In his position as a leader, he can be able to make that statement and then go scot-free. But I don't believe I can say the same statement and go free. Because for me, I still respect my head of state, my president. You understand? So you can see that all the opposition political leaders are looking is a platform on which to fly. And this is what the ruling party is allegedly trying to deny them. That is why any new opposition party, those teams move into, particularly, especially the OK movement, you must find crisis trailing them down there.
Okay, I'll get back to Mr. Ibrahim. Before we continue, just joining us in the studio, I have with me Madam Mickey in the house. Mr. Mickey, good morning.
Hi, morning. Bright and early Tuesday.
Yes, thanks for joining us once again here on the PMB Morning Show.
I look at preacher and natural you.
Yes, I can see the painter goes to school hairstyle. You know, this hairstyle reminds me of the.
I can't even understand.
Did they call it all back?
Yes. You're in the spirit.
And of course, I have daughters. Right, so, Mickey. Buba Galadima said that from his indication that there are plots by the ruling party to manipulate the 2027 general elections. He made a lot of statements, and then, of course, from the import of that statement, that is what it connotes. So what do you think? What's your thoughts?
Well, you asked again, is it possible to run a one-party state in Nigeria? I think it's impossible. We're too pluralistic. It won't work.
It won't work.
Then we have just the same way we have Buba Galadima, we also have other more youthful hotheads that are even, elected.
Can you name one of the hot?
Election would never give his party to anybody. Nobody. There's nothing. There's no crisis that you're going to bring in.
Are you a fan of?
Well,
because the energy at which you are dispensing this statement
is to show you the energy that's going to come.
Are you a fan of?
She's a Nigerian. The fact that she's a journalist doesn't mean that her individual human right will be denied her.
I'm not doing that.
Please say you're pro-Shori.
Okay. But now you were saying what? There's one other hot-headed guy. There's this guy with a black beret. What's that? Peter.
Yeah.
A lot of Nigerians are speaking up. So what's your take? That statement.
Well, for the statement, man, it's cause for concern. You mean there are going to be attempts to foist only one candidate on us? Because I don't mind if it's in the APC. If everyone else in the APC has accepted, why not? Because so far, all we see from the APC are signatories. I have been called to sign President Tinubu's re-election form. I've been called to sign. Who is now going to contest? So from what we're seeing so far, there's only one contestant in the APC. I have no qualms with that. But when there's no contestant in the other parties, go here, problem, go here, court case.
There's no longer a contest.
Yeah, exactly. It's no longer
because the word contest.
You are there, it's going to chip away. So it's better for the APC to have contestants. Actually, it's not going to be a sign of it's a walkover. No, it's even actually going to diminish the extent of democracy. And for you to put court cases such that it's entered Supreme Court, which means we're the final birth. Said no. Let me
go to a lesser court.
So, and then start up, and then the deadline is end of May. You threw it back at the last day of April. Was it? Yeah, the last day of the last day of April. I mean, come on. Which court has been so fast so far? Or has it gone for
to pass judgment within 30 days?
Exactly. Listen, and pass judgment within 30 days.
It's like a man who embarked on a journey to Lagos, halfway into Edo State, and you're telling him, I forgot my
let's go back to Lagos. That day. I've given him that day.
It's very important.
And you expect the man to arrive at Lagos in good time?
Like that create a situation where it looks like, are you trying to manipulate this election? Because if you are, it's not even going to work out. And like you said, the Nigerian people are, each and every electoral cycle, there's the downside is that people are getting voting fatigue. There's less apathy, right? The other side is that people are getting more knowledgeable. So maybe if
and more involved.
Yeah, more involved.
Exactly.
So if last time maybe 200 people, let's say, at a polling unit came out.
Yes.
This time around, let's say 90 people. You've lost 110. But guess what? These 90 will stand there and protect their vote. These 90 are not the type that let me just drop in my card and go. These are the 90 that if you announce a result of 500, when only 90 people came out and not all 90 came there, it's not going to end on that note as it was before. So it's not
going to be business as usual. Is that what you're saying?
No, it's not going to be business as usual. So if you're bringing all these dimensions, it's not going to work.
Now the concern here, Mr. Ibrahim, who is afraid of credible election?
Obviously, the ruling party.
Why?
I cannot be afraid to say that.
They are already
the party you throw at me requires the kind of answer I always give it to you. So I don't want to.
So you're giving it to me, Woto.
I don't want to become monotonous, repeating answers all the time.
No, I'm just asking straight on.
The ruling party is afraid of rigorous contest. That is it. Otherwise, this is the first time I told you that I have experiences of political dispensation right from 1979. Yes, I became politically aware from 1979. I know we used to be the boys that will carry gallon, go and buy petrol, bring it to and put it into all those cars that are going for campaigns. In Maiduguri, I used to know, we used to be in NPN. Then and my uncle and I, because I always go after my uncle, he now left NPN and joined GNPP, Great Nigeria People's Party. So I've been involved right now from 19.
You have been very involved even if I was born.
Exactly.
What we normally see actually is that towards the electoral period, opposition parties are now allowed to register.
Exactly.
So normally, when it's like maybe a couple of years before, they even clamp down, no registration. Only then they'll go to court. So, even Buba Galadima has had to fight for the NNPP and other parties to be registered. Then towards this period is when even political parties are even allowed to flourish in such a way that opposition is even divided.
Do their primaries and all
So, so I was more surprised now. Instead of letting the opposition divide itself, we're like everywhere. Let there be crisis and that won't be shut down. So it's like it's a new pattern.
The pattern is talking about pattern.
I think the pattern started from somewhere actually.
Okay.
All this problem about having internal crisis within the parties and all that started happening later. What started happening was arresting opposition leaders, keeping them under detention.
Like Rufai?
Exactly. Political leaders that were seen to be a threat to the ambition of the ruling party, they started getting arrested. Once you don't belong to the ruling party, or once you begin to show sign that you are anti that party, once you begin to withdraw your allegiance to that particular party, they will start putting, what do you call them, dogs after you to catch you and just start accusing you of certain things. We see that happen to quite a number of politicians, particularly politicians of northern extraction. Rufai, Malemi, and even Konkoso was initially attempted to be accused of some certain things, to the extent that even American government has frozen his account, all with an intent. And that happened shortly after the visit of the Remitinubu to US. The moment she came back, then they declared what is his name, Konkoso, as part of the terror something, they froze his account. So Sharia or something like that. So you see, when you begin to push opposition, the opposition leaders to the wall, when you begin to threaten political parties, Nigerians will say, okay, then there must be a reason for doing that. I went to weekend this week.
Yes.
And because I know that I'm politically concerned, I started going to all these political parties. To my surprise, all ADC offices were closed. I know two, both of them were closed. Both of them were closed. There was no activity going on because there was no certainty that will this party also
be on the ballot
sheet.
Yes.
So just like I said, there's voter apathy. People are they are not even sure where they are going to.
But yeah, it was looking like that at some point. But with this reawakening of this movement by these two, the OK movement seems to a lot of people begin to see maybe there is possible light at the end of the tunnel. Because right now ADC as it stands now is having a lot of issues around their neck now. Whoever somebody is hell bent on making sure ADC does not stand. That's why you see, this is my first time I've seen a judgment being done in reverse standard. I'll call it
Supreme to lesser court.
But the timeline, a very
small time.
In fact, right from 2023 elections till date, I've seen so many judgments that I'm beginning to ask my friends that are lawyers, what is this law all about? Because the little knowledge we know about law is that you bring up a matter, you go to the court, and the law is a place, is a hope for the common man. But now I don't know, is it actually still like that? And that's why the likes of Atiku Abubakar, the former vice president, could come boldly to say that he took a sitting president to court 11 times, and he got justice. And it's beginning to question if that can happen today. But now we are seeing a cause of judgment that I begin to wonder, what is this law all about? Even though we're meant to understand that the law is an axe, but we don't understand what kind of axe it is now, because taken from Supreme Court, who is supposed to be the final decision-making body of the court, now referring us back to
for interpretation.
Somebody
cannot interpret, but
I have not seen that kind before. Madam Miki, do you have to say?
Within a tiny time frame. Like I said, if something happens once or twice, it's just like an incident. But where there's a reoccurrence, it now sets itself like a pattern. That will make people to ask these kind of questions. So I don't think the APC is doing itself any good making, these kind of conjectures, because people now have something to fall back on. Okay, if you picked up such and such a person, then picked up this person, and you now picked up, and incidentally, they're all in opposition. Is that an incident or a coincidence? For instance, let's look at now. So a lot of the governors who came in on a political platform have now deported over to APC. Okay, now some of them refuse to do so, and then all of a sudden we find people like Bauchi State governors, commissioners, all being called in for corruption. Does that
including
add up?
people like Okoa?
Does that add up? Why is it the one person who refused to decamp is his commissioners that are all being called in for corruption? And then now he's now keep on having all these meetings with the APC people and on and on and on and on. It now gives the impression, are you stampeding them in? Shouldn't I want to decamp of my own volition? You understand? So when it becomes like that, it now kind of gives the impression that it's being coercively done. Whereas usually if you want to go to the APC, who's going to stop a governor? If you want to go, you go. Go if you want to go. Like the people say, if you, the governor, go, will the people go with you? No. So
that's another interesting question, Mr. Brian.
No, I think for me, it's all a matter of having good policies in place. If, for example, I have in a country of 36 states, a government that has about 31 governors behind it, a government that has more than half of the Senate and the National Assembly. I have nothing to fear against you, whoever you are, honestly speaking. I will allow you to develop yourself and let's contest.
But some people have the opinion that with all this statistics you've just given, that somebody is scared of credible elections still.
That is what I'm saying.
You have 2 governors, you have all the senators and the House of Reps. So what's going on? Why are you afraid?
The policies, when you are coming to rule people, when you are coming to rule a country, that's why I always, whenever I'm referring to a good leader, I always say an example of Malam Nasir El-Rufai. He ruled my state, and I knew what he did in my state. He came to governors with a blueprint. This is what I want to do for my state. Do you understand? This is the policies I believe will empower and enrich my citizens and also bring about development in my state. Have this in place. When you come with a policy that the first undocumented policy you dish out to your people is a verbal statement that there's no longer subsidy. It is at that level that you broke down the people. And subsequently, what the people began to see is continuously becoming poorer and poorer and poorer from the level that this government was sworn into power. This is enough in itself. This is the only thing that the government is scared about. Otherwise, I have 31 state governors. I have more than 50% of the people in the National Assembly, both upper and lower house. What will I be afraid of? I have no business trying to bulldoze other smaller political parties to deny them the privilege to grow. It's very unhealthy for our political life, honestly speaking.
Talking about policies, though, there's no candidate who contested pre-2023 that subsidy removal was not one of the cardinal points. Every single one of them contested on that same. So what about the policy will you say is effective?
You see, Buhari wanted it. Exactly. Buhari was even part of the policy.
Right.
But he did not implement it.
Right.
Why will I have to be the one to implement it? He knew that it's going to create problem among the people. He doesn't want to be looked at as the person that implemented the policy. He did not. Do you understand?
Okay, gentlemen.
Most of them. I think for Atiku particularly, he wanted to privatize. He was the advocate of privatization of the entire petroleum sector. I remember about that. In fact, I was among the people that were criticizing him at that time. Why do you want to privatize our refineries?
But now we are seeing when one of the newspapers captioned that the Chinese is about to take over the refineries.
Yes, finally. Finally. Even I said it this morning before he came. Didn't I say it? I said it's better to privatize these refineries rather than giving it out to Chinese. We have people that are ready to.
But removal of subsidy, we were not supposed to borrow after removing subsidy. We were meant not to understand that. But now we seem we are borrowing even at a geometric progression. Borrowing almost every month.
You are the one that read mathematics. I don't know what is geometric progression. Geometric is becoming larger and larger.
Geometric is higher than arithmetic progression.
The problem Nigerians are facing as policy issue.
Yes. Now let's come back to the statement credited to Buba Marwa That's APC's attempt and antics.
Buba Galadima.
Buba Galadima. One of the things he mentioned is the use of apparatus of power. The police, judiciary, INEC, these are apparatus of power. Sitting president, Nigerians will always say, you don't win now, INEC na him brother, IG na him brother.
The anti-grav agencies
na him brother. You don't already win, I beg, no need to go vote. Why, if you go to the streets, when you mention 2027 election, I have seen well-educated, intelligent Nigerians coming and tell you that they are not going to vote. And when you ask them why, they will tell you, Mr. Ken, don't worry yourself. When him brother na INEC chairman, him brother na IG, him brother na be chief of defense staff.
This hasn't happened before now.
Why is that so? And then Buba Marwa is now coming to say, Galadima, sorry. Buba Galadima, I beg your pardon. Is not coming, sorry, apologies. Is not coming to, straighten that statement or make that statement credible that using of apparatus of power is one of the antics of the ruling party to manipulate elections. What's your thought on that?
Well, I think that this has happened repeatedly in the past. Yes. So I think somebody should speak out so that we'll find an end to it. Because in the first place, why am I coming out for an election if I lack the confidence that I could even make it? Why am I voting in an election if I lack the confidence that my vote will count? So then the worst part of things for Nigerians is that we, the citizens, remain unarmed. So we cannot even resist. There's nothing we can do. If you're at a polling unit and we're all surrounded by security operatives armed, what are we going to do then? So I just think that if such statements are made by today, because that statement was made as far back as Saturday before the decamping, by today is what, Tuesday? By today, we should see statements coming in from the government to reassure Nigerians, to say, no, we are not going to do something. But the silence is too, the silence is loud. The silence is meaningful. Why have I said that you are going to use all the apparatus against us and you keep quiet?
Honestly speaking, that is one problem.
It now sounds like, I'm going to. Whereas if you came out and promised us, assured us, then we have your words to hold you by. That you said, no, we're going to go for a free, fair, and credible election, and the best man will win. We're not going to deploy, because you notice, especially the last, was it Ekiti, the other election cycle? It was as if a war had been declared there. The detachment sent in, we've deployed this number.
We see especially even in River State when soldiers were.
It was Ondo, sorry. We deployed this. We are deploying that. What is the aim of that? But here we are, the world's part of everything. That's why we said Nigerians are crying about security. When you hear this happened in Chibok, have you sent more people over there? When it happens in Bokos, did you send there? We don't see police. Oh, now we've deployed this number of policemen and they are stationed there permanently. Why are you stationing them during election? So that now creates that, gives credibility to statements like this. How you're going to manipulate with security agencies. And you're keeping quiet. That silence is deafening. I have issues with the government that does not talk to the people. I have issues with the government that does not like feedback from the people. Yeah, government is of the people. Government is for the people. It should be by the people. Speak up. So, I want to talk to, Asa Rock, the presidency. Speak up. Tell us and reassure us about issues like this, where statements like this are credited to notable politicians. These are not people on the street. If someone on the street said, I'm sure they're not going to read, it won't really carry weight. Buba Galadima making such a statement is like, Bagam, you've got to come out and let us know your position. That's my position.
Okay, you did mention in time past where apparatus of power was used to, manipulate and squeeze all forms of political process into, the side of the ruling party. We saw a case of Wike when Wike was governor of River State. A lot of soldiers were sent as though there was a war in River State. In fact, that was Buhari's regime. That was one of the hottest, if I may say.
Only contested
election. Yes, River State. That was his second term return. Soldiers were everywhere as though there was a war in River State. Now, what does that make of our political system. The international communities are watching, and then this whole thing of, premeditated outcome of political results, when people have a problem with that, we say there's no need to vote.
I think this is deeply rooted not only from the system. I think it has to do with the political consciousness of our leaders. You see, our leaders in this country disregard requirement of the constitution. When organizations are set, there is what we call establishment mandate. Every organization has mandate. For example, there are government institutions that are actually supposed to be independent, like the judiciary, like the INEC itself. And then there are constitutional provisions that make them to be that independent. But then when leaders come, whether they are governors or whether they are presidents, sometimes even ministers, they know that there's a certain constitutional requirement that is guiding the mandate of that particular organization. But they will trample upon it and nothing will happen. Nothing will happen. Ordinarily, a president should have control over an institution like the INEC or the judiciary. The judiciary stands on its own as an independent body by itself. It's one of the tripartite legs of the nation: the judiciary, the executive, and the legislature. Isn't it? Yes. So each one of these is free from the interference of the other. It is the constitution
and
that provided exactly. It is the constitution that provided this. So I become in some countries like the US, for example, the president has less control over the judiciary. The Senate is able to take major decisions concerning certain administrative policies without the interference of the president. But here you will find that the moment you are sworn in as even a governor or a president, you will see that you can manipulate the constitutional requirement and trample upon even agents that are supposed to be independent. There's no need to put the word independence under INEC. Just call it National Electoral Commission. Why do you have to put the independent? Before now, the word independent was not there. You remember? Before now, it used to be called National Electoral Commission. At that time, if the president decided to manipulate it, no problem. But now it's
national assets.
Exactly. But we later bring in the word independent so that we tell Nigerians that look, what these people have, they are independent. Nobody will interfere with their electoral, what do you call it? Electoral act. You even made an act to control the activities of the body. And then you interfere with it. And this thing is not just restricted to the current administration. No. Previous administrations have done the same. They abuse the mandate. They abuse the constitutional requirement that establish those organizations. I don't know the kind of leaders that we have in this country who cannot respect the constitution of the country, cannot respect electoral laws. It's very, very sad. And that is why we cannot get it right. Even you at TD now, if you find yourself in that position, you may decide to do this. That's why I say
Mr. Ibrahim, you're not too sure of that.
You are in Nigeria.
No, Mr. Ibrahim, I'm a Nigerian with integrity.
Against the current leadership.
Mr. Ibrahim, I stand to be corrected.
My problem is that we always as Nigerians.
I want to say this without fear of favor. I'm a Nigerian with integrity.
I'm just making okay. I withdraw that statement.
I thank you very much.
A certain CK might descend to do so.
Okay, a certain CK.
Are you the only CK? So that is how we are as people.
All right, Bugoma Galadima has been providing serious opposition over the years, and he has maintained consistency in the. Do you see his words being taken seriously this time around? Because I for one, I've seen him physically. I met with him the day he came. Very humble, very simple man. People gathered him, and everybody wants to meet him. And now he's at it again. Each time he speaks, then I will always, even when there is no light, I'll make sure I power the gen to watch him.
Let me tell you how straightforward this guy is. This guy was the executive secretary of Nigeria Port Authority during Abacha. There was a certain policy requirement that he was expected to carry out. He came out on national television and said, even Abacha cannot make me implement those policies. He made such an utter statement on national television. He's a bold person. When he sees black, he calls it black. That's the kind of person.
Fearless.
Is fearless. I'm telling you. Is it executive secretary you have an NPA? I mean,
so where do we still have Nigerians like that now?
No. He has one of them. Shawore is another.
One of you.
Shawore is another.
Yeah,
and then among the ordinary Nigerians, there are so many like that.
Yes. But the thing is, like I said, I want to point out something that we are doing very, very, very wrong. A situation whereby you have like an election it's an election period, right? And these come out as a result. Now, some people contest it and they end up winning, and it's proven that those results were manipulated and etc. Now, we find that a little girl, a youth corper, and NYSC ad hoc staff who was paid money to manipulate results and feed in the wrong results into their...
She's also the part of the problem.
No, let's agree she's part of the problem. Now, you send that little girl to jail, right? She's caught, she's found culpable, you send her to jail. Why is it that the House of Representative member, the senator, the governor, whoever benefited from it, why is he sworn in? Why is he sworn in? So is that because it's no more, it's
so the law is only for the poor.
The law is skewed. It is meaningless. I am the one who is cheating. I'm the one cheating to get in. Then you swear me in after cheating. You found it in court that I have cheated. You punish that little girl. What's her business? She doesn't care. She just, she sees it as
so there's a lot of things wrong with the process.
Totally wrong with the process. Because now you try to clean it up and pretend that, oh, you see, if anybody is caught involved in it, we're going to take the person to court. You've taken the person to court. You found that the figures were actually inputted wrongly to benefit
people's children.
You punish the person who did the inputting and then swore in the other one to go in.
Who benefited from the imputing?
For God's sake, who even...
I remember just a few weeks ago, we discussed here on this very platform that there are certain provisions in the electoral law that are supposed to be repealed. Up to today, the INEC is not making any move towards doing that. Neither the Senate, neither the INEC, neither the government is talking about that need for repealing of that 3 different sections of the electoral law that we mentioned. 63, 137, is it 187 and 186, something like that. We mentioned these things here.
Yeah.
But nobody's talking about it. It's almost just few months to election. And some politicians will write on the back of those provisions to carry out the
INEC actually has pushed. INEC has been pushing for it, to be quite honest.
All right.
So INEC is the person who even, gives them such and such and such and such, and these and these and these are the new provisions which should be.
Is it the INEC under this leadership or Mike Igini?
No, Mike Igini was never the INEC chairman.
No, I mean, Mike Igini brought it out to the fore.
Yeah, he did, and pushed, and he pushed.
One of the reasons why I beg to differ, one of the reasons why nobody's powering on issues like that, because already the political parties are being suffocated with a lot of court issues now. You are trying to survive first as a party.
I remember
now when you have not survived, is it to fight what is the content of the electoral act? First of all, you need to survive as a party first, and that in itself is one of those strategies too. Get them occupied, get them busy, get them occupied with all kinds of all manner of court cases. They will not have time to pay attention
to the need to reform
to those little
I think I want to correct
political criminalities, alleged political criminality in the electoral act.
Earlier this year, some corrections were made, some amendments were made on the electoral act.
Yes.
It was after those corrections that had been made in 2026. They still, what is his name? That lawyer. Igini pointed out still that there are still these 3 other items that you need to go back to seek for.
That is what we are saying.
All right,
see my point. Now,
gentlemen and ladies, I think we would have loved to power this topic more, but unfortunately for us, time is not on our side. We still have other issues to talk about. Thank you very much, Mickey.
Thank you very much.
As usual. Thank you for that. And then Mr. Ibrahim, of course, as usual, thank you very much too for doing justice to the topic. All right, this is where we're going to wrap it up on the first topic for today. We're going on a short break. When we return, we'll dive straight into the next topic for today. This is P&B Money Show here in the city of Abuja. Stay tuned. We'll be back after this time out. Welcome back. This is PMB Morning Show here in the city of Abuja. My name is T. Kenneth Chidi, and we're going to dive straight into the second topic of today. But before then, let me introduce, I still have with me in the studio, Mickey, always looking girlish, and Mr. Brian, my strong and capable
uncle.
Uncle.
Whether you like it or not. I'm far older than you. Don't call me uncle. I know you don't want to do that.
I call you uncle here.
Okay, that's good.
Abba. Please, I want to live long, please. You are my uncle. Respected one at one of them was well, I'm a Nigerian.
It's not about in broadcasting.
Well, to speak Hausa
To call any
or Igbo or any other.
Is my uncle.
You can't do it on air.
Well, I do it on air.
You're not allowed.
Well, I don't know about that. That's for you. This is conventional broadcasting, and this is broadcasting out of the walls now. So I call you my uncle. My uncle, good morning, sir.
Thank you. Not allowed.
It's a reality show. All right. Now we're going to dive into the next topic. At the same time, away from politics, we're going to go straight into another very controversial issue that has, that borders on immigration fraud linked to a religious body in the time past. So many stories have emerged concerning financial fraud linking to religious bodies. This act has generated widespread criticism over the integrity of churches meddling into unexplained transactions. Now the question is, what will be the hope of the followers? In time past, we're just going to wrap up this issue quickly, and then we go to the next segment of the morning show, which is okay. Yes, we are going to wrap it up quietly and then go straight to the next segment of the morning show, which is going to be what's trending. For the interest of our viewers, we have in our wisdom, in the wisdom of the management, to introduce another very interesting part of the morning show, which is what is trending. So it's not just news, it's not just analyzing issues and political trends, but we need to also understand what is going on in our country via videos and via some form of explanation. We'll be doing that after this very topic. So gentlemen, or ladies and gentlemen, the issue of religious bodies meddling into financial transactions that has to do with government agencies is raising another serious concern this time around. What do you say about that? We need to start discouraging these things, so that, because the religious bodies is adjudged to be a body that is seen as that has so much integrity and so much belief. This is where people go to worship. This is where people try to transact with their creator. But now we are seeing issues of transactions that that is connected with immigration. Mr. Ibrahim, do you have anything to say briefly before we go dive into the next segment of the morning show?
That is why we claim to be practicing democracy. And then if we are practicing democracy based on the copying from the American system of democracy, we know that there's a very clear separation between the state and the church. The church is a generic term, which it means maybe general religion. The church is just used as a symbol of religion. So whether it is Christianity, Islam, Judaism, or even traditional religion, there is a clear demarcation between what is governance and what is religion. So if this allegation is really true, because I was thinking we might have stumbled upon this information from a very credible, censored daily newspaper, or maybe from a media. But if it turns out to be true, I think it is very, very bad for any government organization to decide to make use of any religious body in carrying out their transaction that is actually supposed to be meant for the government. That's all what I will say in this regard.
Okay.
Because it will spell, Nigeria is a heterogeneous society, and we know Nigerians are very
religious,
are very passionate about their religion.
Yes,
you will find that if you are a Christian, you are a Christian you are a true Christians in Nigeria, and if you are a Muslim, you are a Muslim in reality in Nigeria. So we don't take issues of religion very lightly. So when you are beginning to use either the church or the mosque in running something that is supposed to be actually government. You are trying to bring problem among the already we are in a very volatile situation in this country.
With too many
cumbersome situations between the religions. In fact, Nigeria is even a very good country. Any other country that has this kind of very strong...
We are erupted in flames.
Exactly. But we have been trying to manage our situation. But when it becomes very clear that the government is using religious institution to carry out business of governance, I think it's a very, very dangerous situation. I will therefore call on the government that if this information turns out to be true, to please stop doing it, so that at least unity can be ensured within Nigerians.
Okay, Mickey, quick one.
Okay, alarm over religious link in immigration payment. But for now, we leave it in the realm of conjecture and allegation. So they allege, and again, we need a body of proof in order for us to actually establish, like they say, law prima facie allegation.
Yes, law prima facie allegation.
But one thing I must say is that Nigeria is a secular state. We just assume. You understand? We take it on paper that we are secular. Nigeria is not an Islamic country. Nigeria is not a Christian country. Nigeria is not a traditional ruler, tradition.
Traditions.
We are secular. So for you, if the government, which is the symbol of our secularity, to be involved in anything that concerns the government, link it into religious body, that is a capital no-no. So I'm thinking, let's get more proof and evidence on that. And maybe if it comes up, like it comes up in the trending aspect, which you said is highly commendable. You can see the PMB morning show is on the rise on the daily. So if that becomes trending, then we can chew on the bits of evidence that is there. But for now, Nigeria being secular, such should not even be mentioned in Nigerian government circles. Everything should be done in a straightforward manner. That is why the late President Muhammadu Buhari introduced the TSA, single treasury account system, so that everything is paid into the treasury. There's no, let me pay it into this bank and corner it into that account and find it out at somebody else's wife and sister and girlfriend's personal accounts. Pay it straight into the treasury, and from there it will be dispersed. That was the idea. So now if we're saying it's now bending into some religious body or the other, that is a no-no. It's just as bad as you paying it into a personal account, and it should never be mentioned in government circles. That's my take.
Okay, thank you very much. I think before we wrap it up on this topic, I would like to say that I, for one, I don't think I'm in support of any religious body participating actively into politics. For me, that's my own opinion. I'll be maybe being partisan, because we've seen videos of religious leaders coming out openly to be partisan. Stating clearly that this is who they are supporting. Mr. Ibrahim, I don't think it's so. The religious leaders should be careful with the way the role they play, because people don't joke with religious leaders in this country.
Exactly, but recently they found themselves fully involved in politics. We are witnesses to this, particularly during the 2003 election. They actively participated, and that was very, very, yes, 2023. And it was very, very embarrassing, and they broke my heart, actually. Both the mosques and the churches participated in that election. We are all living witnesses. And this also affects their even personalities among their followers. So I think
going forward,
if this allegation turns out to be true, please, the Immigration Department should, and the Federal Minister, I think Immigration under Minister of Internal Affairs?
Yes.
Please do the needful. Make sure that because this situation escalates, you do the needful and correct things.
You do the needful and correcting. Okay, thank you, gentleman and lady, because I wanted to say gentleman, but I keep remembering that Mickey is a beautiful woman. Okay? All right, this is all we're going to wrap it up on this segment of this of PMB Money Show here in the city of Abuja. We are going to go straight to the next segment, which is the what is trending on PMB Money Show. Stay tuned. We'll be right back after this time out. Welcome back to PMB Money Show here in the city of Abuja. As you can see, The seating arrangement has changed. Just joining us is Ferry Josephine to take us through what is trending on PMB Money Show. Good morning, Ferry.
Good morning, sir.
You want to say good morning to the other members of the crew?
Good morning, gentle lady. You look beautiful this morning.
Good
Good morning.
Is it looking beautiful?
You're looking sharp. You're looking sharp too.
Morning, buddy.
I'm trying.
Some of those things.
All right, what do you have for us on what's trending this morning?
Quite a lot, I must say, this morning on what's trending on social media. And before I just dive into what is trending, I overheard your conversation talking about religious leaders being involved in politics. Just during the weekend, talking about what's trending, Funke Akindele, a Nollywood actor, she came online to say that she couldn't even go to church on Sundays, that it had been a long time she go to church last, because when you go to church, there is this tendency of, as a celebrity, being given a special treatment.
You mean the popular Jennifer?
Yes, the popular Jennifer. So that made her stay off church. She only attends church online. And I said that to say that, in Nigeria, we have this give honor to whom honor is due kind of mentality, and we overdo
respect for dignities in church.
Yes, we overdo it. And that makes it, even as a politician, when you go to church, sometimes it will be almost as if a politician is going to mount the pulpit to preach. You understand? And we're just so overdoing it, and it's sad. I think Nigerians have learned from the 2023 elections, and
you think so?
I think we've learned nothing.
Have we learned something?
Well, me, I learned.
Let's Josephine learn first.
When it comes next election 2027, I sincerely hope we don't listen to our religious leader. We respect them a lot, and they take that advantage. To come and tell us that, okay,
to do campaigns in church.
Yes, campaigns in church. And it's high time we say, Pastor, sir, stick to the Bible. Imam, sir, stick to the
pulpit.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes.
That's the last statement I
That's what happens in London. Stay in London.
Yes. Sincerely, because we have been led astray a lot of times.
Right. And even the Bible totally condemns it. You're not to give honor to anybody that steps into the church. The poorest person, sit him in the front.
Yes.
Exactly. At the time you arrive is the time you should sit. It's highly condemnable. It's not even allowed.
So are you of the opinion that churches should practice first come, first serve?
Not only church. Everything to church.
Okay, including the mosque.
Let's say when you are in worship place, let everybody be treated equally. So let me correct your initial statement. You said our politicians have learned. No, it's Nigerians that have learned their lesson. This is the last statement I made before you came in. Our religious leaders have actively participated in the 2023 election. It wasn't okay with us. That's part of the thing that led us to the problems that we are having today. Because we allow religion to politically influence our decisions. And this is wrong. There should be clear demarcation between religion and governance and politics. And we fail to see that. And like she said, I pray we learn our lesson for the better this time around. I read Funke Akindele. She said, now I send my tithe online and then watch my services online. At least every time she finds her, say, all the cameras will now turn to her.
Okay, do you have any footage to show us?
I do have quite a lot of trending issues this morning. Firstly, we're going to start with the video of Monica Uche-Montana's film. I don't know, how do you wind off after work? Do you watch movies? Are you a movie type?
Honestly, I just by looking at the starting of the movie, I slip off.
But you should, though. I think
even at an old school, I like watching Montana movies a lot.
Do you understand?
And then there are always clear matches in some of our movies.
Yes.
From time to time, anytime I have free time, I just take a Nollywood or two. At least
the MCR should put up the montage.
Yes. I would advise you watch Monica to the end. And before we go into it,
I watch Monica too.
Okay.
Monica 1 and 2, that she a fashion designer, being molested by her mother, favoring the other two children.
Of course.
Mr. Brian, you mean you have time for movies like this?
I do, honestly. It's just P&B that's taking my time now. But before that, I'm a movie buff.
I'm not a movie. I sleep. Just staring at
I wouldn't allow you to watch anything.
I don't even watch before P&B anyway.
Let's listen to Farid.
Yes, so let's have the trailer of the movie Monica before we go into the comments and the fact that she just broke a record. As of yesterday, the movie has gained 10 million views on YouTube. Wow. Just YouTube. And that's a lot of money.
Interesting movie.
And let's have the trailer if it's ready, please.
No more waiting on the sidelines. No more hiding from the light. This is your time, this is your moment.
Wow.
All right. So that is
Wow.
the trailer. And just as I mentioned earlier, over yesterday it made 10 million views on YouTube.
In 2 days.
I know what's
That is bigger than some political parties.
Don't let them hear you.
I didn't mention any party, but I just spoke my mind.
You have the kind of this party are talking about.
No. We just 10 million views. That is the actress. What's her name again?
Uche Montana.
Uche Montana is larger than some political parties in Nigeria. Yes, undoubtedly. 10 million
followers
Yes.
actually. Yes.
You know what's amazing about the fact that this movie made 10 million views just in 2 weeks is the fact that she's a woman. You know, I would say I've been in the movie industry myself, and over the years we've seen men doing all these things. It has been as if women cannot break such records. And you know, recently.
So wait a minute, are you promoting feminism? Or
No,
what a man can do, a woman can do better. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Well, if
Come on, I'm a man, I'm here. We have men here. I'm not stopping you, but I'm only saying, I'm only speaking out for the hello men, I'm speaking out for you.
And I am
And a woman like
women as well.
are you here for the women?
2-2 balance.
And I bet you know who is going to win this already. Because
Okay.
it's not even up for debate.
Let's see.
All right, so
Let's see how it
what I'm
goes.
saying, over the years, a lot of men have been breaking the records, but recently, starting this 2026, we've seen Omoni Oboli with the record, and then all of a sudden, over the week, Monica broke the internet with 10 million views in 2 weeks. And you know, Nollywood industry has been where there is this thing as a woman, before you break into the market, you have to trade.
Exactly.
Give what you have to get what you need. But with the advent of women in movie going into production and all, it's as if it has killed that thing that as a woman you cannot boldly say I want to act. I remember when I told my mom I was going to act one of my first movie I auditioned for. She was like, I'm gone. That yes, because as an actor,
You have gone to where?
you know,
Lord,
African mothers, yes, because sincerely, that has been something that has been eating into the Nollywood industry in Nigeria. You find a lot of people have been abused, a lot.
But women have been making waves already now. There is this somebody Ogumola is also a woman. Omuni Oboli herself has been making wonders. Exactly. Number one now.
Tribe of Judah.
Yes,
that one is the
tribe called
Exactly.
Yes, I think I watched that movie several times.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. Even though I'm not a movie person, but that particular one, I kept watching it until I got
it was
tired.
a beautiful movie. So you see, a lot of congratulations have been flowing in from her colleagues. That's Uche Montana's colleagues. We have even the likes of Deborah Paul Eneche congratulating her. That is to say, it really gains a lot of attention. The movie Monica too.
Sorry, was it a woman that did the Love in the World? Dogo Parara?
No,
Was it a woman?
that's the producer of
Yes.
the movie. Yes, it's
Was it a woman?
Omoni Oboli.
She produced the movie.
Oh, Dogo Parara.
Yeah.
I watched that one very well. I watched that one too. Very.
So you see, the women are really doing great in the movie industry now.
Mm.
And today, you want to know how grateful we are as women in the movie industry. I am saying we, because of course I double acting here and there.
There's also Uche Jambo.
Which I Jumbo too,
Yes.
yes. She's a producer, so she produced one of her movies also streaming right now. And a couple of them. Do you know that it's giving the young ladies hope coming into the movie industry with that confidence that nobody is going to ask me to give what I have to get what I want, right? It had broken that barriers already in the movie industry, and it's over the week. You see a lot of congratulations flowing into Uche Montana's YouTube page with a lot of celebrities congratulating her, just as I mentioned. Paul Eneche daughter, that is Deborah Eneche. She said this is well deserved. I can tell the take of craft of storytelling very seriously. You see, it's quite a beautiful thing to see people rallying around her colleagues, yes, in the industry.